Good morning, I'm Wendy Burke and this is the CBC Morning Report for Thursday, June 30th. In our top story, Barbados had its threat of the 2022 hurricane season 2 nights ago, when the island was affected by the passing of potential tropical cyclone number 2. It's a real possibility that we'll be threatened again before the season is over. Are our various response systems really ready? To examine that question with me is the Deputy Director from the Department of Emergency Management, Danielle Skeet, and she joins the Morning Report live. Good morning to you, Ms. Skeet.
Good morning, Wendy. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you. Now, the DEM, we had the passage just 2 nights ago, but you were able to respond and the data as to exactly what happened was known within a matter of minutes. How have things been going for you at the DEM?
Okay, Wendy. Well, as you would appreciate, the Department of Emergency Management functions under a framework of comprehensive disaster management, which means that we're not only focusing on hurricanes and storms, but really all year round. We are looking at all of those things that can potentially harm us residents here on the island. So for example, you would appreciate that last year we would have had to deal with ashfall. And there in the past, we've also had felt earthquakes. So basically, we are always in a state of preparedness. We are always getting ready. We are making sure that our staff are trained, that we are keeping ourselves up to date with cutting edge technology in terms of telecommunications, etc. So we're making sure that our equipment is constantly checked, that it is working well, and that we can correspond well with those other stakeholders that we need to be with. As you would also appreciate, we're part of a wider national emergency management system, which means that we are in constant contact with our other stakeholders. So we're constantly talking to our stakeholders from the Ministry of Education, from the Ministry of Health, from the Ministry of Transport, Works and Water Resources, because they're the subject matter experts when it comes to particular things like flooding, etc. So we want to make sure that the information that we're putting out there to the public is the correct information, that it's the most up-to-date information. So as I said before, we're constantly having our staff trained. We're making sure that we are talking to our partners at the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, and by extension to our neighbors and other participating states of SEDEMA, because we learn also from their experiences, what has gone well, what didn't go well for them. So in anticipation that we too have to go through something like that, we have already heard and learnt of their experiences.
Okay, now you mentioned the issue of equipment and training. What have you seen in terms of upgrades and what additional things staff needed to be trained to deal with?
Okay, so most recently we've been looking really at upgrading our telecommunication system. Obviously, this is the way that the world is going. COVID-19 has certainly taught us that everything does not necessarily need to be done from an office. So we've had upgrades to our telecommunication system, and therefore the staff has had to learn how to manage that equipment. I know most recently our communications officer has done some training with senior persons from the public service in terms of using our satellite phones. And these are phones that obviously they use satellite signals, and therefore if our systems go down here completely in Barbados, we will not be totally cut off. We will still be able to communicate with other countries outside of Barbados using these satellite phones.
Okay, so that's a major upgrade there. Now, you mentioned being able to reach out to like members of the public service, etc. And we know a number of them are engaged in the acts of either being shelter wardens or first responders. Have there been upgrades to that level of training, especially within the COVID environment we're functioning in?
Certainly, Wendy. From 2020, when we first started with the COVID-19 environment, certainly our shelter wardens they do receive annual training every year, and that is spearheaded by the Ministry of Education. And yes, we have been speaking to them about what they need to be doing, what the protocols are, etc. And certainly, if new shelters are added, we have to ensure that those new shelter wardens also are are informed about what they have to do. Most recently, actually, a couple of weeks ago, I think it was in either May or April, we would have had a discussion with a shelter warden from St. Vincent, and she would have shared her experiences with the ASH in terms of how they manage with people in those shelters and for the long period of time that they had persons in those shelters. So, as I said, that is something that we do. We do share our experiences with our neighbors. So, our shelter wardens would have recently had that opportunity to ask questions of another shelter warden from another country who has had a different experience to them.
Okay, now my final question to you. The list of shelters has been circulated, and we noticed that some that were there before are now off because maybe the state of disrepair some of these buildings would have been in. Does the island have sufficient coverage, parish to parish, in terms of those shelters?
I would say we would always need more there because we don't know what is going to happen. At this point in time, I would say we've done the best that we can with what we have, and we do have sufficient, I believe, for the most vulnerable in our country. I think we have sufficient shelter capacity for those who are most vulnerable. Of course, we cannot predict what a weather system will do, and there is a possibility, and we pray not, that if we might have a particularly devastating incident happening, and in that case, we may need to have more shelter capacity. However, this is something that is ongoing, and we continue to look for and to identify public shelters.
Okay, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning, Danielle Skeet, the Deputy Director of the DEM, and I wish you and all of your staff a good hurricane season, knock on wood, not too many incidents, but we're happy to know that you're ready to deal with any eventuality. Thank you once more, Ms. Skeet.
Thank you, Wendy.
Police are currently investigating a double murder. On the 29th, around 11:30 p.m., police officers responded to Orange Cottage in St. Joseph after a number of explosions were heard in the area. On arrival, police discovered the body of Tyrese Caesar, 20 years, of Durance Christchurch, outside of the Cottage Bar and Grill, along with the body of Trey Harris, 34 years, of French Village St. Peter, at Horse Hill in St. Joseph. Seth Towler, 19, of Heading St. Philip, also received injuries and was taken to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital for treatment. When we return on Morning Report, we'll have updates on the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine. COVID-19 should no longer be seen as headline or front page news. That's the view of the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. the Most Honorable Kenneth George. He says Barbadians now need to concentrate more on personal responsibility, which includes being vaccinated and boosted to be better protected against the virus. Dr. George is confident the Ministry of Health and Wellness has done its part, ensuring the public has all relevant information about COVID-19 during the ongoing pandemic.
After 2.5 years within the pandemic, we have given the public several messages. I think there are very, very few members in the population who may not understand what they can do to protect themselves. And therefore, the role of the ministry changes a bit, and we become the facilitator of the process. And we have given the population the tools to be able to make informed decisions about themselves and their families, and persons need to use that information to make good decisions about themselves and their families.
The CMO says if there are COVID outbreaks like the recent ones publicized at the construction site in St. Philip and at the psychiatric hospital, the ministry will keep the public informed. Other than that, he believes the COVID-19 dashboard and similar messaging has become irrelevant for public consumption.
Dashboard at this point in time is really to give public health officials a flavor of what's happening in the community. As we have indicated, we are managing a couple of outbreaks at 2 identified places in Barbados. We will come to the public in those situations, but with respect to the daily information, we will need to look at this because we need to move on. We have relaxed the protocols to not be reckless, but to make sure that we can open up Barbados while people understand their risk. It's about personal responsibility.
There were 120 new COVID-19 cases, 52 males and 68 females recorded on Tuesday out of 542 tests carried out by the Bastos Santos Public Health Laboratory. Of the positive cases, the majority of them, 100, were in the 18 years and older age group. The number of people in isolation facilities was 37, while 1,118 were in home isolation. No deaths were reported yesterday. However, reports from the coroner's office showed that there were 3 COVID-19 related deaths which occurred in the community over the past 2 weeks. This brings the number of deaths from the viral illness to 476. Guyana is currently seeking to procure the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines manufactured for children 6 months to 4 years old. Even as Guyana faces some challenges in acquiring vaccines for children, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony says his ministry continues to collaborate with international partners to ensure citizens access and receive the important jabs.
We have been following what has been happening, and as you recognize, it's a challenge to get vaccines to the low age group. We have had lots of challenges to get vaccines for the age group 5 to 11, but we were able to get vaccines. A lot of our friends, we've asked them, and finally we've been able to secure those vaccines from Spain. Similarly, we have started a process of trying to access the vaccine for the 6 months to 4 years age group. And in fact, we're right now trying to determine what quantities we'll ask for. So this week we'll put in that order, and hopefully in the next 2 months or so, we should be able to get some of these vaccines for the 6 months to 4 years age group. As I said, the vaccines have been proven to be very safe. There have been studies that were done both by Pfizer and Moderna. The data from those studies have been reviewed. The experts have determined that they're safe. So it is something that we like to have available for children here in Guyana.
NATO leaders have called Russia the most significant and direct threat to the alliance's peace and security, while officially inviting Sweden and Finland to join the bloc. The leaders of the 30-country bloc, in a joint declaration after meeting in Madrid, Spain yesterday, endorsed a new strategic framework and launched the largest revamp of its defense and deterrence capabilities since the end of the Cold War.
Arrived at a historic summit projecting unity and strength in the face of a new threat.
This conflict in Ukraine is not a regional issue. It's a global struggle between democracy and autocracy.
NATO is rewriting its own playbook, boosting battle-ready troop numbers across its eastern flank, and with plans to vastly increase rapid reaction force numbers from 40,000 to 300,000 troops by 2023. Russia's deadly attack on a shopping mall in southeast Ukraine on Monday foreshadowed this summit. Until recently considered a NATO partner, Russia will, for the first time since the Cold War, officially be redesignated an enemy threat.
We meet in the midst of the most serious security crisis we have faced since the Second World War.
President Zelensky appealed, as he does relentlessly at international events, for more help. He warned the leaders present that Russia's next move may be against one of them. And NATO is determined to do what it can, offering a further package of non-lethal assistance, this defensive alliance careful not to be seen to be joining the conflict.
But we never wanted to have escalation with Russia. All we want is to live in peace in Europe. And therefore, we are making crystal clear that we are ready to defend ourselves and preparing all the structures for what we need.
The summit began on a high note after an arms and security agreement was reached, allowing Turkey to lift its objection to bids by Sweden and Finland to join the alliance. So Sweden and Finland attend this summit as official invitees, their membership bids approved by all 30 leaders to be ratified by national parliaments in the coming months.
It's time now to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. I say good morning to you, Pearson Bowen.
Good morning to you, Wendy Burke, as well, and good morning, everyone. When you join me at 6:30 this morning for Morning Barbados, I'll tell you about an initiative hosted by the Cooperative Society of Barbados. They're having the International Cooperatives Day on Saturday with an event coming alive on Saturday, and we'll tell you more about it. Also, Mini Millionaires in the Making. Mini Millionaires in the Making is an initiative of the Progressive Optimist Club. We'll talk to you more about that too. And this morning we'll meet an exceptional young Barbadian man, the second black man to have his doctorate in Aeronautics from Stanford University. He will join us as we celebrate his success in just a little while when you join me at 6:30 for Morning Barbados. It's back to you, Wendy.
Thank you so much, Pearson. We'll see you within the hour. We'll have more news on the CBC Morning Report. Affordable housing is now available in Barbados. It's an initiative of the Cooperative Society. Minister of State in the Ministry of Trade, Energy and Business Development, Sandra Husbands, went on tour of the project yesterday, and the housing solutions got the thumbs up from the minister. CBC's Trevor Thorpe reports.
This is the latest housing development. It is Heritage Estates at Work Hall St. Philip. It boasts low and middle income housing for Barbadians and is an initiative of the Cooperative movement, which is, this week, celebrating its 100th International Day of Cooperatives. Minister of State in the Ministry of Trade, Energy and Business Development, Sandra Husbands, called it an exciting day to be visiting a project that has been supported by the property development component of the Cooperative Society, which has partnered with a young entrepreneur whose intention it is to bring affordable housing solutions to Barbados and the Caribbean. Minister Husband says the average Barbadian family does not possess the expertise to do most things, and it is the Cooperative Society that holds the key to a better life for our people.
It has allowed young entrepreneurs to get an opportunity to get started on the opportunities here in Barbados and being part of the housing revolution which the Barbados government is bringing. Secondly, it is providing much needed housing for families who ordinarily would have a difficulty not only getting a mortgage, but being able to afford it. And so we're bringing affordable housing. And I am so proud of the fact that the Cooperative Society has been the engine, the agent that has enabled this to happen.
Minister Husbands praised the initiative and promised the ministry's support of the cooperative movement.
One of the things that the ministry overall will be doing, we want to be able to examine what are all of the various initiatives that come up that provide opportunities, and to be able to educate the average Barbadian on what they are, how they can participate, what are the potential benefits, and then give them the financial literacy training so that they can manage their assets and manage their investments, and therefore become part of whatever prosperity Barbados is able to generate over the next 5-10 years.
President of the Cooperative Investment Fund, Oriel Doyle, said the development is a pooling of resources and technical expertise, and the benefits are realized across the spectrum.
This is just a small investment of $1.5 million, which has generated for the credit unions who provided the mortgages over $5 million of revenue. So just 1.5 million has generated that kind of activity for our credit unions. Furthermore, it has provided 12 families with beautiful homes, as you see, and it also creates a different ambiance within the village community. To have this little section develop within the village community has really signaled significant benefits to the people in the area.
30 people have found work with the project. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
It seems as if 2 local football clubs have been scammed out of over 150,000 Barbados dollars. Members of the Pride of Gall Hill Football Club were left stranded at the Grantley Adams International Airport on Tuesday after believing they were about to board a flight to Canada. CBC's Shane Jones has been following the story.
18 members of the Pride of Gall Hill under-18 football team woke up believing they were heading off to Canada to compete in the 2022 Robbie International Soccer Festival and Tournament slated for July 1st to 3rd in Ontario. After months of preparation, paying for the trip, and meeting the May 15th registration deadline for the tournament, which features competition for both boys and girls from under-13s to under-18s, the boys were shocked to find out the travel agency they booked the flight with made no arrangements for them to fly out yesterday. Many of the parents are understandably angered by the situation. Barbadian Olympian Andrew Hines, who is the father of one of the footballers who was supposed to be making the trip, told me it is extremely frustrating.
Money was paid in on the deadline, I think would have been the 15th. Money was paid in to the coach and then to the travel agency, which this travel agency is called Premier Classy Travels. Supposed to be based in the UK and have branches in Trinidad and St. Lucia, I was told. After all the money was paid, when the coach was trying to reach out to the guy from the travel agency it was left, the guy didn't answer his phone, turn off his phone, everything.
Hines said parents were eager to come up with the money for the trip after they were told that scouts would be at the tournament and there would be opportunities for their children to gain scholarships.
My son paid a total of $3,650, and that would have been 18 players, so $3,650 times 18, that was the total that was paid out, and that was paid directly to the coach. And then the coach did a bank transfer to send the money to the person in the UK or Trinidad. As I said, premier classy travel. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And right now, everybody just pretty much left devastated. My main concern is that it seemed like a scam, but I'm really more disappointed for the boys because they were really looking to go overseas to travel.
Efforts to reach the travel agency in question proved futile. Shane Jones, CBC News.
In sports, Barbados athletes will compete in netball and swimming today as the inaugural Caribbean Games begin in earnest. Our netballers take on Trinidad and Tobago this morning and then St. Vincent and the Grenadines this evening. Swimmer Danielle Treasure will be in the pool this evening in the 50-meter and 200-meter backstroke. CBC's Anne-Marie Burke was at the Athletes Village yesterday.
Guadeloupe has welcomed the best of the region's under-23 athletes. It's the Caribbean Games 2022. Here now is the report from Team Barbados. Brought to you through our kind sponsors, Powerade, Feel the Power, The Sunny Water, Connect Mind and Body, Dave's Supercut, the best tree trimmers and fellows around, Cooperative General Insurance, you're not just a policy holder, you are an owner, and the Barbados Olympic Association, inspiring excellence, fueling passion. A visit to the Athletes Village today saw the broken trident on full display. Barbados is ready for the start of the games. The opening ceremony would have started around 7 p.m. and given the honor of bearing the Barbados flag into the ceremony is judoka Anaya Clark.
It feels like a great opportunity as we start to make my country proud for the beginning of the ceremony.
Now, in terms of your preparation, how ready are you?
I am ready and I'm hoping that I go out there and give my best.
The team has settled in well and they're ready to give it their all. This assurance from Chef de Mission, Gail Craig Archer.
Team Barbados is shaping up pretty well. Netball had practice yesterday. Actually, all three of the sports had practice yesterday. Netball, swimming was in the pool, judo also were out and training. Athletics didn't train yesterday, but they are at the track as we speak. And everybody's in good spirits. They're high, they're excited. It's the first Caribbean Games, so we really want to see this come off, you know. So everybody's excited, we're happy. We thank Guadeloupe immensely for taking the role, stepping up and going all out to make these games a success.
All is ready for the opening ceremony here in Guadeloupe for the inaugural Caribbean Games. Team Barbados is ready along with the other 28 countries they will compete against. Tomorrow, Barbados get things going in the netball as they face Trinidad and Tobago in the 8 a.m. game. And then at 5 p.m. Nkosi Dunwoody and Daniel Treasure will hit the pool in swimming. Reporting from Team Barbados at the inaugural Caribbean Games in Guadeloupe, I'm Anne-Marie Burke for CBC Sports.
Time now for us to take a look at the weather picture and see exactly what's happening on the outside. Maybe Pearson will get those showers he so enjoys. The temperature is currently 27.6 degrees Celsius and the humidity stands at 79%. The barometric pressure 1013.5 millibars and the winds are from the east-southeast at 35 kilometers per hour. Low tide will be at 10:55 a.m. and another low tide at 10:23 p.m. High tide will be at 5:33 this evening. The seas are moderate in open water with swells ranging from 2 to 2.5 meters and steady. Small craft operators and seabathers should exercise caution. The forecast for today, a mix of sunshine and clouds with a few brief isolated light showers. Tonight is expected to be mostly cloudy with clear breaks with the occasional brief scattered light to moderate showers. And here's a look now at our international cities. That's today's morning report. Our next newscast, Newsday, will begin at noon, followed by The World at 1 via our radio network of stations 100.7 FM, 98 The One, and 94.7 FM. It's time now for Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
I join with the singer in saying good morning to you indeed. Welcome to today, the final day of June. It's the 30th of June, 2022. I'm Pearson Boeing, welcoming all of you here, there, and as I always say, everywhere. Thank you so much for joining us on our YouTube stream and our streams on Facebook as well. Grateful for your company. Now, today being Thursday, of course, another day when we will unscramble some letters. I've tossed them in there already. They've fallen. Don't know the order yet, but I'll share those with you a little later on, and you get a chance to interact with me as well. Also today, we'll tell you about cookology. Cookology. What is that about? It's a summer camp coming up. How do you get in? Are you a budding chef? We'll tell you more about that as well today. Today, too, we'll meet an 8-year-old entrepreneur from St. George Primary School, one of those who we celebrate this morning as our exceptional young people. He has his own business known as Kaiso Juices. The name alone just sounds absolutely delightful, so we can't wait to meet him today. Another one of our exceptional people today is that young Barbadian man who has gotten his degree, his doctorate in Aeronautics, the second black man to do so from Stanford University. He promises to be with us this morning. We can't wait to share his celebration and his story. Many millionaires, a concept of the Progressive Optimist Club. They'll talk to us about that, how we can make many millionaires, that's a tongue twister, of our young people indeed, and certainly we can't wait to hear more about it. But let's get started today by acknowledging that Saturday coming will be International Cooperative Day, and so there's going to be quite an event at which we can all be a part. And joining us this morning to talk more about it and what cooperatives mean and the like is the Registrar of Companies, Brent Gittins. Good morning to you, Brent.
Good morning, Pearson. Just a slight correction, Registrar of Cooperatives, please.
The Registrar of Cooperatives. Thank you so much for the correction. Yes, there's a different C on my script. But thank you. Yes. Now, let's talk a little bit about cooperatives. What are cooperatives so that people understand when we say that we know exactly what we're talking about?
Okay, Pearson. Cooperatives are groups or individuals who come together with a common purpose, common goals. They follow specific legislation, the Cooperative Societies Act, and they follow certain principles, democracy, one member, one vote. The first principle of the cooperative is service to its members rather than profitability. So they're a little different from companies in that it's service to its members first, and then they would zero in on profitability or surplus, as we call it in the cooperative movement.
We understand the concept of credit unions and how those work. Similar in some way?
Very similar, except that the non-financial cooperatives are more service-oriented. The credit unions will lend you money. That's their main purpose. Cooperatives perform services for their members and for the community.
Good. So now everybody is very clear when we talk about cooperatives what we're talking about. The theme this year is cooperatives build a better world. True or false? Yes. And how so?
Very true, very true. So cooperatives can alleviate poverty. They can create employment. They can ensure that members are looking out for one another in their times of need. So they've done a lot to build the socio-economic landscape of Barbados. So they do build a better world. And this is globally that cooperatives operate in this manner.
We saw in our news just a moment ago, the morning report, the initiative by the Cooperative Society to bring housing. That's one of the initiatives. What other initiatives do you engage in to bring that kind of building a better world for Barbadians?
Okay, so we have transport cooperatives that will ensure that when our visitors come to the island, they are transported around the island. We have farming cooperatives that are focusing on food production and ensuring that we have food on the table to help with reducing our import bill. We have other small businesses that are creating opportunities and looking to export their products overseas. So these are some of the initiatives that our cooperatives are involved in to ensure. We have a construction cooperative as well that are actually building a better world. They're building a better Barbados by providing housing similar to the Cooperative Society Investment Fund. And in that way, they create opportunities and employment as well. So these are a number of initiatives that our cooperative sector is involved in.
Staying relevant, staying on top of the latest cutting edge technology and the like, what kinds of initiatives have the Cooperative Society been engaged with so that members are doing the latest in whatever is available today?
So the Cooperative Society Investment Fund is very, very much on the cutting edge, and they're looking to get involved in housing. They're looking involved to get in digital finance. And only yesterday we had a seminar where the My Ready Cash electronic wallet was discussed at length. We had about 60 or 65 people online. So in line with the government's initiative to go digital, we have cooperatives that are staying on the cutting edge and getting involved in initiatives such as the Digital Financing Initiative to ensure that we remain very current.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So with all of that, you're having an event this coming Saturday when we recognize International Cooperatives Day. Tell us about that event and how we as Barbadians can support the initiative.
Oh, definitely. So every year, the first Saturday in July is International Cooperatives Day, celebrated globally. And here in Barbados, we try to have a really big festive event, which we're having at the Church Village Greens. So we're going to have, our cooperatives are going to be there with produce, plants, all of their services will be there on show. We're going to have the Diabetes Association will be doing health checks. And I think Barbadians will love the fact that we're going to be having some free sampling of pork that is produced by our pig farm. We have a pig farmers cooperative.
Yes.
So they've blessed us with some sampling of pork. We want Barbadians to come out and sample their pork.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have other things there as well. We're going to have our Honorable Minister Sandra Husband should be there to give some remarks. So it should be a festive occasion. Church Village Green, Central Bank. We should start around 9 and go through till 6. We're going to have modeling. We're going to have a band. It's going to be a fantastic day. So please come out.
And we really want to encourage Barbadians to come out in their numbers. Indeed, from 9 in the morning, it's absolutely free. But, you know, you get exposure to what else is available. Oftentimes, you think we have to go into a storefront to get what Barbadians are doing. But no, there are other places, other people doing all sorts of wonderful things. And you get an opportunity now to be able to engage with those products and services. So give me a sense of not just sampling of the pork, the range of services and products that you think would be there on Saturday.
Okay, on Saturday, we should have the Cooperative Investment Fund, which is an investment cooperative. They will be there to tell Barbadians how you can invest in the fund, how you can help Barbados to build a better world through the Cooperative Investment Fund. We're also going to have some plants. We're going to have plants there as well, one of our cooperatives that does plants. Mm-hmm. We're going to have cooperatives with pepper sauces and condiments. We're going to have cooperatives that are producing body and spa products. We're going to have cooperatives that produce snow cones, but their snow cones are produced by a snow cone cart with solar. It is run by solar. It's not run by the usual snow cone carts. We're going to have another cooperative there that should be able to offer services in transport. So you can come in if you want to hear more about how the cooperatives transport visitors around the island. So yeah, it should be big.
Quite a spectacle indeed. So take the children down, everybody, and interact with those services and products that are available on the island. Sample, and next time you hit your supermarket, or you may even be able to purchase on the spot. But the next time you hit your grocery stores, you can certainly purchase those locally made products by our cooperatives. There's a society perhaps that can encompass you for what it is that you already do. And you can get to know more when you come on down. Brent Gittins will be there. He's a registrar. He can give you some guidance on how registration goes. And, you know, a whole host of your answers will be provided to those questions that you may have. So we want to encourage as many of you as possible to spend the day right there at the Church Village Greens on Saturday from 9 in the morning till about 6 till the sun sets. And you can really bring the family down. Music, entertainment, food, sampling. It is just going to be quite festive indeed as we mark International Cooperatives Day under the theme Cooperatives Build a Better World. Registrar of Cooperatives, Brent Gittins, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Very much success. I know the week concludes very shortly, but this is really what a wonderful way to end a week of celebrations. And indeed, I want to give kudos to yourselves at the Cooperative Society and best of luck with this activity. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me, Pearson.
You're very welcome. Very welcome indeed. Brent Gittins, Registrar of Cooperatives, joining us. Remember, it's Saturday in the city, Church Village Greens from 9 in the morning. Absolutely free, but everything delightful will be there for you to sample, to taste, to engage with, to see, to feel, to touch, and to get all the answers you're looking for as well. We shall take a break right here. When we come back, we'll tell you more about making mini millionaires of our youth. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
14 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock this Thursday morning, when we spend some time looking at the success, as always, every day we do, of Barbadians in particular. This morning we want to talk about making this is such a tongue twister, mini millionaires in the making. I don't know why they've put that challenge on me this morning, but joining us to talk more about that today is Shana McAllister, who's the president of the Progressive Optimist Club. With her is Ryan Mosley, the manager of the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pearson.
Thank you so much for joining us. Shana, tell me what it is. Give me the title.
Certainly, it's the Mini Millionaires in the Making.
You have to slow down, right? But why this initiative? Why are you engaging in this initiative?
Yeah, certainly. Well, that's an excellent question. Well, we want to develop fiscal responsibility in our young people. And it's something that we realize is not readily taught in schools. And we identified this opportunity for us to bring this information and this knowledge to our young people. So we're excited to have the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme on board. They're our partner in this program, and we could definitely not do this without them. So we're grateful for their input in this as well.
Break down the program for me, because it's described as a mentorship program. You're not going in there and say, okay, you do this, you do that, but you help to guide and share. So talk to me about the mentorship part of it.
Okay, sure. So we're actually piloting the program next week. It's a one-day training session. And within this session, the participants are first going to get an opportunity to interact with some young Bajan leaders. So these are young business persons in their 30s, their 20s and 30s, who are at the top of their game. Some of them are running large multinational corporations. Some of them are running grassroots operations. And they will get an opportunity to interact with the children, let them know what their experience has been like, how did they get there, what was the path that they took, and then anything that they would tell to their younger selves. So the participants are going to get this chance to interact one-on-one with these young persons that they can aspire to become, because they're going to look at them and see, well, they're not much older than I am, so I'm sure that I can grow up to be this person. Then we're going to have another session on personal development planning, where they're going to be able to set SMART goals and identify the steps that they're going to take to get to these goals. Then we're going to move on to the budgeting segment and the entrepreneurship segment, which are the two segments that are led by the facilitators from the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme.
So this is quite a partnership to develop our young people to become, we say, building mini millionaires, but we're talking really about being better money managers, and so that we become ourselves better business thinkers too. And so, Ryan, let's talk a little bit about the Youth and Entrepreneurship Scheme's involvement in this particular project. What can we benefit truly from?
Okay, good morning to all. Let me first say that the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme is a department within the Division of Youth, within the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment. Our mandate basically is to inculcate a culture of entrepreneurship among young persons, and to develop, grow, and assist in the growth of businesses among young people. Our target group strictly is young persons under the age of 35, and that is where our mandate is really concretized. When Madam McAllister reached out to us, this fitted right within our scope and within our drive for this year, where we wanted to partner, as she said, with schools, community groups, and third sector agencies to really promote entrepreneurship as a viable career option. Gone are the days where entrepreneurship was seen as a fallback on career, but now it is a lot of young people who are very educated and very skilled have decided to take on the challenge of running their own businesses, setting their own goals, creating their own products, and actually running their own businesses. So we found this very critical to partner with the Progressive Optimist Club, and we're going to, as you said, provide some technical support in terms of procuring some professionals to conduct the workshops in entrepreneurship and budgeting, which are two critical areas where you want to set the ground foundation and the groundwork for young entrepreneurs at this stage.
Don't want to scare the little ones when we say technical support. You're thinking, oh my gosh, this sounds like it's going to be so heavy. It's not so much, but you're lending from your experience the ways in which they can actually begin to, you don't go to that word again, Pearson, but you can actually practically employ the skills that you can share with them. And so give me a sense, when we talk about budgeting, what we're talking about, and when we talk about entrepreneurship, the scope that particular word covers.
Okay, well, as Shana would have said, this is basically a sensitization workshop because these are young persons between the ages of 13 and 16 who are now getting their feet wet in entrepreneurship, although some of them may be inclined to starting their own businesses already. So budgeting would just teach them about basic money management. How do you manage your money? How do you account for income? How do you account for expenses? How do you kind of derive your profit? Because we still have an issue where persons can't decipher what is profit and what is income. So you just want to give them the basic tips on those type of dynamics regarding business. And entrepreneurship, as you said, is a discipline in itself, but at this stage we're just promoting the basics. We're just getting them involved in just the basic, how to go about spotting opportunities, how to develop your opportunities, how to do your basic research, how to look around at your surroundings and see any deficiencies that you think you could develop a product or service to cater to and make money as well. Their whole focus is on mini millionaires, which is a very good thing because historically, you know, we were just providers of labor, but we want to encourage our young people to use their skills and talents and make money and create generational wealth. That is what we are here for. That is what we promote. And we are more than happy to join with Shana and her team to inculcate this in our young persons and get them started on this great journey that they can do great things for themselves and their families and the country on a whole.
Indeed. So, Shana, you know, what we do on a Thursday, we expose what we call our mini entrepreneurs here too on Morning Barbados. It's a perfect fit for us as well. So let's talk about the age range you're targeting, the kinds of people, how can they be a part? Give them some details.
Okay, great. So we're targeting children in the age range of 13 to 16. So persons who are ripe for this sort of information. The mentorship program is going to be taking place at the Massey Stores Training Room, which is at Massey Stores Supercenter in Warrens. And it's really simple to sign up. Anybody that fits within that target age group can sign up. They just have to visit progressiveoptimist.org to register, and they will get the link to the forms link that you can see on the screen there, and they'll just enter their information, or their guardian or their parent would enter the information and approve their participation in the program, and then we'll send a confirmation email with the registration details and further information.
Is it in person or is it a hybrid of in person and online?
Yes, it's an in-person program. Right. So we're very excited because this is the first time in a long time that we've been able to have the in-person one-on-one interaction with the children. The Optimist Club, our mandate is bringing out the best in the children, our community, and ourselves. And it had been difficult in COVID doing everything remotely or just providing donations, dropping them off at the schools, and hardly getting to really have that in-person interaction. So we're really looking forward to this full day in-person session. COVID protocols will still be in effect. We will be keeping everyone as safe as possible, but it's going to be an exceptional session. We have some really good things planned.
Yeah, it's next week Saturday, not this coming Saturday, as in, no, it's the 9th of July. And we want, when does registration close?
Registration is going to close next Wednesday.
Okay. So for those who are still betwixt their minds, you can have until next week, Wednesday, to complete your registration. Very simple, Simon. And once you click on the link, you can progress yourself onto forming getting your registration in. Parents, we want to lend your support as well. We would encourage you to do so. Your 13 to 16-year-olds are really the ones we're targeting here in this mentorship program as we develop and make mini millionaires of our young people. They are already doing some exceptional work across this island. We're happy to share it. But here is a very structured way in which the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, in association with the Progressive Optimist Club, can give them even more. They'll get to engage with other people like themselves who've taken the steps, who've taken the chance, who've met the success, and who can now share from their experience as well. So it's going to be quite engaging, everyone, and we really want to see the young boys step up. Don't just leave this for the young girls. The young boys, step up, step in there, and show that you too can do this. And it's, again, you said, Sheena, a part of what the Optimist Club sets out itself to do, to develop the person holistically.
That is correct.
Because I know oftentimes when we think of the Optimists, we think of you guys just doing speeches. You learn how to speak, how to interact, those kinds of things. But in doing so, you still have to be a whole person. And so here it is, another step from the Progressive Optimist Club in developing the young people of our society. And with the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, though, Ryan, how easy is it, if I don't fall into that particular cohort, 13 to 16, and I still want to access the services of the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, how can I do so? All right, we'll try to get you unmuted. If you have muted yourself, please unmute. If we have muted you, please unmute. We want to hear from Ryan how one can, as a young person, really benefit from the business of the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme. Are you with me now, Ryan? Let's hear you. All right, we'll try to get that resolved in just a moment. Ryan is the manager of the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme. So once again, Sheena, registration concludes on Wednesday. Is it, and it's absolutely free, correct?
That is correct. It's absolutely free. It has been made possible by the help of our sponsors. So the Optimist Club, Progressive Optimist Club, is nonprofit. So we've raised some sponsorship, for example, from Massey Stores. They've sponsored the location and so on. So it's absolutely free to the participants. So there are no barriers whatsoever for anybody who wants to participate in this program. Once we have space on the program, you can participate.
Yes. So when these teens register and these teens come next Saturday, the 9th of July, what should they walk with?
So they need to walk with a writing implement, but we will be providing most of the things that they're going to require, right? So all of the coursework, any stationery that they need, we will be providing that. So they just need to come with their eager and open minds and a writing implement, just in case the one that's provided at the ages. So
and bring
not a lot of stuff.
Yeah, bring their idea, because they'll be engaging with the professionals of the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme who will give guidance on that idea as well. And I suppose I'm hoping that in making these mini millionaires, part of it is is being able to protect one's copyright. And I'm sure in part of all of this, that will probably come up as well, because you may have an idea. You just want to be sure that yours is a legitimate idea that's legitimate to you and not to anyone else. And so all of those are elements that no doubt you will cover in this program coming up. So it's Saturday the 9th at location?
Massey Stores Training Room, and that is upstairs, Massey Supercenter, Warrens.
Right. So we'll give more details. All these details we will definitely post on our social media, on our Morning BDS 246 Facebook page, indeed. So you see the link and you click it. So Ryan, you were telling me, though, you're about to tell me rather, about how we can, if we're not yet already in that cohort 13 to 16, which we're targeting, and anyone else wants to access the services of the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, how can they do so?
Yes, Pearson, as I was saying, the 13 to 16 age group falls into one of our main programs, the Yes Juniors. But we also cater for the older person, the older youth, which is 18 to 35. So 18 to 35 is really our core area. And once you have a business or you have an idea for a business, you are free to contact us. Our numbers are 535-3835. We have 3 competent technical officers who would take you through the process. They would meet with you. They would share their thoughts on your business idea, give you guidance, and the process of working through the idea actually starts. So we go up to 35, but this aspect is what we consider within the Yes Juniors and the outreach section. But we really cater for young persons that actually have active businesses, and we have had quite a few businesses over the past 25 years. We have some businesses now that have gone global, and we're very proud of that. But our mandate is really young persons. And I'm just going to put in this plug. We're going to be in Freedom Park next week, Saturday, where all of the departments within the ministry will be showcasing their products. And we also have some entrepreneurs. So it is a growth process. This is where we start. And then we move to the point where we have young persons who actually have
functioning revenue-generating businesses.
All right, great work indeed. Both of you. Shana McAllister, President of the Progressive Optimist Club. Ryan Mosley, Manager of the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme. Both of you, much success with this. This is quite an interesting program. I can't wait to hear the fruits of your labor and to be able to experience it right here on Morning Barbados. Introduce us, please, Shana, to those many millionaires who you'll be engaging with. We want to be able to celebrate them too here on Morning Barbados, so don't forget us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Certainly.
Thank you very
for
much.
having us.
You're very welcome, both of you. We shall take a break here, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, the news on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
And we're back with the news update. The Department of Emergency Management has all systems ready to respond to any eventualities this hurricane season. Deputy Director Danielle Skeet told Morning Report that they've been in touch with all stakeholders and the system is functioning well, as was tested 2 days ago by the threat of the potential tropical cyclone number 2.
We're part of a wider national emergency management system, which means that we are in constant contact with our other stakeholders. So we're constantly talking to our stakeholders from the Ministry of Education, from the Ministry of Health, from the Ministry of Transport, Works and Water Resources, because they're the subject matter experts when it comes to particular things like flooding, etc. So we want to make sure that the information that we're putting out there to the public is the correct information, that it's the most up-to-date information. So as I said before, we're constantly having our staff trained. We're making sure that we are talking to our partners at the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, and by extension to our neighbors and other participating states of SEDEMA, because we learn also from their experiences, what has gone well, what didn't go well for them. So in anticipation that we too have to go through something like that, we have already heard and learnt of their experiences.
The department also has some new equipment which staff are now trained to operate.
We've been looking really at upgrading our telecommunication system. Obviously, this is the way that the world is going. COVID-19 has certainly taught us that everything does not necessarily need to be done from an office. So we've had upgrades to our telecommunication system. And therefore the staff has had to learn how to manage that equipment. I know most recently our communications officer has done some training with senior persons from the public service in terms of using our satellite phones. And these are phones that obviously they use satellite signals, and therefore if our systems go down here completely in Barbados, we will not be totally cut off. We will still be able to communicate with other countries outside of Barbados using these satellite phones.
COVID-19 should no longer be seen as headline or front page news. That's the view of the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. the Most Honorable Kenneth George. He says Barbadians now need to concentrate more on personal responsibility, which includes being vaccinated and boosting to be better protected against the virus. Dr. George is confident that the Ministry of Health and Wellness has done its part, ensuring the public has all relevant information about the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, 2.5 years within the pandemic. we have given the public several messages. I think there are very, very few members in the population who may not understand what they can do to protect themselves. And therefore, the role of the ministry changes a bit, and we become the facilitator of the process. And we have given the population the tools to be able to make informed decisions about themselves and their families, and persons need to use that information to make good decisions about themselves and their families.
2 men are dead after a shooting late last night in St. Joseph. CBC News was informed that several explosions were heard in the area of Orange Cottage, St. Joseph, around 11:30 p.m. The Barbados Police Service responded on receiving the report, and on arrival, the body of a man was found outside the cottage bar and grill at Orange Cottage. A check of the area also revealed the discovery of another body lying in the road at Horse Hill. Police have identified the deceased as 20-year-old Tyrese Caesar of Durance Christ Church and Trey Paris, 34 years, of French Village, St. Peter. Barbados and the region have been advised by the Pan American Health Organization to prepare their health systems to address the long-term impact of the post-COVID condition, commonly known as long COVID, which may impact many in the Caribbean. Director Dr. Carissa Etienne, in her latest press briefing, says estimates suggest that 10 to 20% of people who have had COVID-19 may be going on to experience symptoms. These include persistent and severe fatigue, shortness of breath, and mental health issues. She stresses it's crucial countries recognize the impact of long COVID on people's lives and work. And that's it from us here on the End of News, and we'll go to break, and when they return, you'll have Pearson Bowen and more Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Right now, it's 10 minutes after 7 o'clock. Right now, it's time for us to have a little bit of fun. The scrambled letters are to be unscrambled by you. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Those are the numbers to call for you to tell me what word you can make from these very scrambled letters. Easy, I know, in some instances. The more difficult ones are for you, those who have struggling. We want to make you struggle. We just want to make you struggle. So come, let's go. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Can you unscramble these letters that are coming up now? So 228-5562 or 63. Look at that. Look at that. Pios Tolosine. Might struggle at trying to pronounce those letters. What word is that? What word is this on your screen? Work it out. Come on, sort those letters in order. Tell me the word you can find, and then give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563. It matters not your age. Just call. Let's talk and engage. So 228-5562 or 228-5563. Figure this word out. What word do you think we can make using these letters in correct order? Several consonants, several vowels as well. So 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me and tell me the word you think we can make from these letters. They are all scrambled right now. Your job, should you accept the task, is to unscramble those letters and give me the word you think you can make from those letters that you see on the screen. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Don't be shy. Call me from wherever on this island. Call me from wherever in the world. If you're calling from overseas, look at the area code. It's 246. So it's 1-246-228-5562 or 228-5563. What word do you think we can make from these letters that are all scrambled up, jumbled up in some weird order? What word can we make from it? 228-5562 or 63. Anybody calling it? No, none of you knows? Not a single one of you can figure this one out? I thought it was exceptional. Sorry, I thought it was easy. I thought it was really, really easy. Somebody says it looks like some medical term. Perhaps they might be right. I don't know. Let's see if you know it. Good morning. Hello. That is not the answer. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What word do you think we can make from this word you see on your screen? These words are not a word. They're all scrambled. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good.
You're good. What parish are you watching us from?
St. Philip.
Say it again.
St. Philip.
St. Philip. What's your first name?
Jamal.
Jamal, you whispering or is it me?
If we're going to be whispering.
All right, Jamal. All right, Jamal, what word do you think we can make with these letters?
Exceptional.
I beg your pardon, Jamal.
Exceptional.
Jamal.
Hello?
Come on, man. Look at it carefully. Look at the letters very carefully. And tell me seriously. Seriously, Jamal, what word do you think we can make?
Exceptional.
Sticking to that, Jamal?
Exceptional.
All right, Jamal. All right. I'll tell you what, Jamal, you're absolutely right. Well done, Jamal. Thank you very much, sir. Jamal from St. Philip has got our first word right. It is indeed exceptional. I think I let that one slip too. Oops, that's my little bit of a fault indeed. So, let's see if we can give them one more try here. Another one now. 228-5562, 228-5563. Look at this. Easy. I looked at it and immediately I saw the words. Two words, two sets of words. Give me those words and you call me by telling me those words. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What words do you think these words are? Easy so, easy so. Looks like an African word to me. Let's see how good you are on your African air. Good morning to you. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Words you know. And because you know, call me and tell me. 228-5562 or 228-5563. It doesn't matter where you live. Just call and say. Just want to hear from you today. When you unscrambled these letters and you know the word, call me. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Simple Simon. Simple Simon. Simple, simple so. And by the way, for those of you who are watching other devices and because everything seems rather delayed for you, you can get real time with us here at MCTV. So do give us a call, our customer care desk, and let's talk about how you can have yourself the best service, MCTV. Hi, good morning to you. Hello.
Good morning to you, Pearson. How are you doing?
I am doing well today. How do you do?
I'm great every day.
Oh, every day?
Every day.
So how do you do that?
Mindset.
Uh-huh.
And it keeps you looking young and healthy.
So if I looked at you, what age would I see?
You would see me looking like 30.
What is it in reality, if you don't mind my asking?
50.
Ah, so you look half your age.
Let me tell you. Fantastic.
By having the right mindset. I love that. You know what? Maybe I need to change my mindset and I look like 20. Nevertheless. What parish are you watching us from?
St. Michael.
Hello, what's your first name?
Michelle.
Hello, Michelle. Beautiful name, Michelle, my belle. Michelle, what words do you think these are on our screen?
I see phone booth.
That's what you see, but tell me what words you have see on our screens.
I see a lot of junk.
I love it. Michelle, you are true to a fault. I love it, indeed. Phone booth it is indeed, Michelle. Thank you so very much indeed. Michelle, I've said Michael. She said she sees a lot of junk. but she sees the words phone booth indeed. I
great
love
day.
it. You too, Michelle. Thank you very
Okay,
much
bye-bye.
indeed. I love that name, Michelle. Michelle. Good friend of mine. Her name is Michelle as well. Let me do one more. Let's do one more. Folks, come, let me go. Fun galore. Let's do one more. Rhyming there. 17 after the hour now. Look at this. What word do you think this is? As Michelle would say, she sees beer junk. What do you see right now? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Figure this one out if you can. And when you can, then you can call me on 228-5562 or 228-5563. For those of you who are watching online, don't be shy. Don't think that's just for us here on the island. You can call too. No, don't just answer in the text box online. You can answer by picking up the phone and giving me a call. I'd love to hear somebody calling from somewhere else in the world as well. So 228-5562 or 228-5563, area code 246. That's who we are, Barbados, BIM 246. So 228-5562 or 63, what word do you think these letters, once set in correct order, can make? What's that word? Everybody don't know. So let me go. 228-5562 or 228-5563. I'm cautioning you. Get up to date. Get up to speed. Remember to talk to our MCTV office. Our customer care desk opens at 8 o'clock this morning. Give a call or give a visit and they'll be happy to engage with you and see how best we can bring the best service to you. My team is laughing at me. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. For yourself?
I'm well too, thank you for asking. Now, you know my name. What's your name?
Brenda.
Hello, Brenda. How are you doing today, Brenda?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm very well.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm doing well as well. So, Brenda, what parish are you watching us from?
St. Michael.
Brenda's from St. Michael. Brenda, look at this word. As Michelle would have said, she sees a bunch of junk. What do you see?
I see garrison.
You see garrison? You live near the garrison?
No, I don't. Well.
So what do you see the garrison? Why do you see garrison?
Why do I see garrison?
Spell garrison for me.
Garrison, Pearson.
And are those all, let me see, there are two R's, yes. Garris. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Brenda, you're right.
Yes,
Thank you very much, Brenda, for playing with us this morning. Spot on. Well done. Well done.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So Jamal, Michelle, and Brenda have been brilliant this morning. Will you be equally brilliant tomorrow? We shall find out. We'll take a break right here. When we come back, we meet an exceptional young Barbadian man. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's introduce you now to this exceptional young Barbadian man from the parish of St. Michael. He is now only the second black man to ever receive a doctorate in aeronautics and astronautics from Stanford University, and he from Bohe. His name is Matthew Clark. Matthew, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Pearson. How are you doing?
I am great. Congratulations to you, Matthew. What an honor to be known now as the second black man to have ever acquired this doctorate. This must bring you quite a thrill.
Yes. You know, I stand on the shoulders of giants. it's not a very common thing
Yes.
for folks of our race to do this. So I'm really happy to be, I guess, a leader and also someone who is changing the field of aerospace very rapidly.
Talk to me a little bit about what it is that got you involved in the first place to want to be turned on by aeronautics and astronautics to take that as a course of study.
A few things. My family, my dad and my uncle both are in aerospace, and as well as, if you remember, many years ago, there was a plane called the Concorde that flew to Barbados. And the reason why the Concorde flew to Barbados is because the Barbados was the representative for the Commonwealth, right? So I really got interested in not only aircraft, but also do I see myself designing and understanding what it takes to design such aircraft. So I guess that's where I grew my,
So you talked about the Concorde. I'm not even so sure if you're old enough to have listened to her, the boom of the Concorde, to see that pointed nose coming through. You did? Wow.
Yes. I was old enough to remember that. I was a kid, but I was old enough to remember that sonic boom that occurred over the Atlantic Ocean. And unfortunately, the Concorde doesn't fly anymore. But there are very interesting things that are on the horizon that will replace the Concorde very soon.
No, we can't wait to hear more about that for sure. You are no doubt a part of that space race. Now, where are you from in Barbados? Because are you still overseas, by the way?
Yes, I am in Chicago right now for an aerospace conference, but I'm from St. Michael, Barbados, I guess in the Niels Salters area.
Do you know a lady by the name of Sue? If I say Sue, would you know who I'm talking about? Monterville?
Well, there are a few. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, very small place. Yeah, I know her from Queen's College, so that's where I did secondary school and sixth form before I went to Howard University and then Stanford.
She's remembering you this morning indeed. So this little boy who grew up in St. Michael, who finds himself now in overseas and he's just pursuing his study, his degree. How involved, what kinds of things did you have to study so that you become accredited as having your PhD in aeronautics? Because it seems so technical.
Yes, so the field of aeronautics and astronautics, essentially, we do aerospace as well as rocket science, right? So technically speaking, I am a rocket scientist.
Yes.
So we focus on things such as, calculating properties of the space shuttle and different rockets, as well as aerodynamics and other types of technical things that, to use to design aircraft. So currently, my current work is on flying cars. And in that field, I work on things that move people from cities as well as small islands such as the Caribbean at a over a short period of time. So those are the new things that are on the horizon in aerospace, and it's an exciting time with small sats and satellites and all these things are bringing communication for me to talk to you right now today.
Do you see all of this happening in my lifetime? Because, there was a time when we were growing up and we thought, oh, that's well into the future. How far into the future is this whole concept that you're talking about now becoming a reality? Is it like 2 years from now, 3, perhaps next year?
So what I can say is that right now there are things that do exist within the world, and they're able to do these types of things. When the public will see them, will probably be in the next 10 to 15 years. There's a lot of regulation, and I think in aerospace, it's not first to market, it is safe to market, right? So we want to make sure that we keep the record of safety within the world that is known for aerospace. So I would say 10 to 15 years.
So as this rocket scientist you are, what do you do for fun though? I'm very serious. What do you do for fun? Is it that you just sit and you just look at little intricate things trying to figure out how they work? Or do you also just go out and just have a good old time?
Yeah, so I would consider myself the most non-academic academic. So I love to be active. I used to play cricket for Barbados a long time ago. So I'm still very active in different types of sports. And anytime I get a chance to do something outside of rocket science, which is pretty hard, I do.
You know, because I suppose with a mind like yours, you look at everything and you want to dissect it. You want to figure out how it works.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yes,
my gospel.
I cannot sit down in an aircraft and not think about aerospace, which is sometimes not good when you want to sleep. But, you know, it helps when you're flying with folks who, you know, may be a little bit afraid of flying, and to reassure them that flying is actually very, very safe, and these aircraft can handle a lot more than we think. So if anyone out there is scared, you're perfectly okay on an aircraft.
You're the best passenger to have seated next to, be seated next to, indeed. So, do you get a chance to enjoy soca music, though, or do you love soca music at all?
Oh yes, I do. I was trying to. I know that crop over this year is a little bit separated in different chunks, but I do enjoy soca music, and I'm a very avid cooker of Caribbean food. So not only Bajan food, but I would say, you know, when you're in America and the Caribbean community is very small, you know, you learn how to cook Jamaican food, Trinidadian food, and all types of food. So I'm an avid cooker and an avid supporter of Caribbean culture wherever I go.
Well, people are already commenting on our social media. Marcia Rock is saying he also went to HBCU, Howard University. Congratulations. We've had other people already speaking of congratulations to you, Dr. Clark, as well. And so, you know, no doubt there are Barbadians who are watching this morning who know you, and they're ready to celebrate your success. You said your father and your family, you received a lot of inspiration from and support from them. Who inspires you still today?
Well, there's a few. My uncle, who is with me in the United States of America, he also does aerospace. He's a systems engineer at Northrop Grumman, which is a defense contractor. As well as there's a lot of mentors who, along the way, during my undergrad and graduate career, who have definitely supported me throughout the time. I mean, like I said, there's not a lot of black people in aerospace in general, and to receive a doctorate in rocket science or what have you, is like I said at the beginning of this interview, you stand on the shoulders of giants, right? So I think there's a lot of people to thank, and if I started now, I probably wouldn't finish until tonight. But I would definitely say, like, my uncle is someone who and my mom especially is someone who definitely supported me throughout this time. So a shout out to my mom, wherever she is. I'm sure she's awake somewhere.
So, but as just very few among the few black people who are involved in aeronautics, how has it been interacting with different cultures? How do they view you? Do you have any challenges where that's concerned?
Yeah, of course there are challenges. There is obviously implicit biases that, you know, people have because I am of black descent, and sometimes I guess the name Stanford and MIT, where I'll be going to next, does help a lot. Being, you know, having the, I guess, two best schools in the world behind with my credentials. But I think what helps is the fact that, you know, the Caribbean education is extremely strong, and that helps to ground you, especially, you know, when you're talking to people, to how do you carry yourself, how do you communicate technical jargon to people who are very technical, but also to the common member of the public, which is very important. I think something that we have to do very well as engineers is to communicate, you know, science to the broader community. So I would say, yes, there are challenges. Times are changing, but they're obviously going to be changing very slow, particularly in aerospace, which is predominantly a very old male white field, right? To be honest. So I guess that's where myself comes in to help steer that discussion and help to change the narrative of what an aerospace engineer looks like.
And is part of that also as relates to Barbados? I want to hear how you want to now bring those skills back here so that we begin to inspire young children in our schools as well to pursue the dream that you've been able to achieve so far.
That's a great question. And the simple answer to that, because I know gas is extremely high in Barbados, we have the ability to tap into a lot of renewable energy and use that to do a lot of electric transportation, particularly between small Caribbean islands that are close enough where we can have not only electric cars on the island, but also electric aircraft, which I do between islands, and that would significantly reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and carbon in general. And so I think that's one way we can bring that sort of technology to the Caribbean, and it's renewable, right? So it's not like if we're it can be sustained. We can train new engineers and new upcoming Caribbean scientists to do these types of things. So we wouldn't have to rely on external expertise and really promote our culture in a very sustainable and eco-friendly way.
Matthew, how do you retain your Bajan accent among all of those other accented people? How do you stay sounding like us?
Back and forth. I code switch, right? Depending on where I am. It can be hard, especially trying to communicate.
Yes.
Especially when I get too excited, it goes straight downhill to Bajan. But yeah, I try to be as elaborate and as eloquent in my speech as possible, so that when I'm communicating things, people can understand. Right? That's the most important thing.
Indeed it is, indeed. Patricia Ben says, we're very proud of you, Dr. Clark. You represent Barbados and the black culture very well. And so we salute you, and we salute you today, indeed. I know you're heading towards your aim is to become a professor in your career. And we want to support you in that as well. But we can't wait to hear of your next stage and of your journey, indeed. Little time that we had to share with you. We've thoroughly enjoyed you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And thank you for continuing to be the exceptional young man and young professional rocket scientist that you are. We now claim you strongly as ours, indeed. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. His name is Matthew Clark. You met him this morning. He is a Barbadian man, young, went to school at Queen's College. He is a rocket scientist, and he's the second black man to have achieved his doctorate in such studies at Stanford University. He's among a very few, but he has great ideas and he can't wait to share them with the Caribbean. We'll take a break right here. We're coming back with more in just a moment. 24 and a half minutes now to go to 8 o'clock as we meet another exceptional young man. You recall we would have met with Marcia Burke, who is the agricultural science teacher at St. George Primary School. We challenged her to introduce us to even more of those who have been a part of that big expo they had recently, and she's lived up to her word. She joins us now again. Marcia Burke, good morning to you, and you've brought along with you Kai Marshall Brown, who is one of those young entrepreneurs. Good morning, both of you.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Kai. Good to see you, Kai. How are you doing this morning, Kai?
I'm fine.
Oh, you're doing well? You sure, Kai? Did you have your breakfast already, Kai?
Not yet.
Oh, so what are you hoping to have for breakfast today, Kai?
I don't know yet.
What would you like to have instead? Kai?
Don't really know.
Okay. You're 8 years old, Kai, and now you have your own business. How does it feel to own your own business?
It feels great.
Yeah? Tell me about your business.
The business is called Kaiso Juices.
What is it? Why is it called Kaiso Juices?
Because I make natural juices.
You make them?
Yes, please.
Really? So who taught you to make your natural juices?
My family.
Who in your family helps you?
My parents and my grandparents.
So what juices do you make, Kai?
Natural juices.
In what flavor? What kinds of? Is it golden apple juice? What kinds of juices do you make?
I make passion fruit, sour guava pineapple, green mango, pineapple, ginger beer, passion fruit.
Kaiso juices?
Yes, please.
So how have sales been for you? Are people really loving your juices?
Yes, please.
Wow. So do you have a business plan, by the way, Kai?
Yes, please.
Tell me about your business plan. Kai, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, so tell me about your business plan. There we are. We're looking at some pictures of you making your juices. Do you have fun while you're doing so?
Yes, please.
You've always loved juices?
Yes, please.
You know, there are children your age who don't, they skin up their faces at juices. What do you say to them today?
It's good. It's good.
That juices are good. All right, Kai. So your business is called Kaiso Juices. How can people who are watching today get to sample, get to buy your juices? How can we contact you?
You can contact me at 253-1703.
253
1703.
Right. What class are you in, Kai?
Class 1 Adamson.
Okay, well done, Kai. And we are so very proud of you as the owner of your own business, Kaiso Juices. And so, Marcia, you're watching on today, or should we say Miss Burke, because Kai is in our presence, you know. So here it is, you're watching another one of those who would have come through your program, your excellent program at St. George Primary School, who is now a successful businessman himself. So let's talk a little bit more so that those who may not remember, remind them of what it is that you do and what they've done and what you continue to do.
So I am the agricultural science teacher at the St. George Primary School. I introduced the students of the school to entrepreneurship. They would have done a project where they did a business plan outlining what they would sell, how they would market their products. So you would see Kai had the labels as well. You would have seen his poster there. So they created a poster. They also talked about how they would promote it using social media in a positive way. They did pricing so that they would be able to make a profit. So it was a really long, extensive, I would say, and detailed process so they could understand what it means to be an entrepreneur, what challenges they may face, how they can recover from it. Maybe they might need to change their business. And then we ended up having 2 showcases. The first was on the 6th of April, and the second one was on the 2nd of June. So the children would have showcased their businesses by selling their products at the school.
And part of it...
So Kai is another one, yes.
Yes, and part of the initiative here is that they have to be hands-on. This is not a case where mommy and daddy take over and you just benefit from it. They have to be a part of the process. I know you have very soon a number of opportunities for other young people to be a part of the excellent work that you're doing. Could you talk to us a little bit about the initiatives you're engaging in shortly?
Yes, please. So we will be having a summer camp at the school because the interest has been really good.
Yes.
Students from across the island are interested in being a part of the program, but as you can appreciate, I teach at the St. George Primary School. That's in Barbados. I always say that. And
not a problem.
And obviously my program is done there. So to be able to give other children across Barbados the opportunity to see the amazing things and get an idea of what we do at the St. George Primary School in our agricultural science program, I will be doing a camp. We'll be doing a camp during the summer.
Mm-hmm. And that camp
So
will
it's
run
a-
from the 18th of July to the 26th of August, right?
Yes, please. And it's a camp with a difference because it's a camp focused in entrepreneurship and agricultural science, along with all the other fun stuff that children would do for the camp. So we have 6 themes. So each week is a different theme based on the activities that we have going on. So the first week we have Kid Chef. So you would assume, or you can, that is the cooking segment. Not saying that there's not cooking and baking all throughout the camp, because there is. Week 2 is fun on the farm, continuing to do the agricultural science, but you have the major focus there, or the highlight of the agricultural science program in that week 2, with things such as rabbits and chickens and visits to farms. Then we have summer scientists. We remember that how important science is. So the biggest science activity will be on that week. Week 4, lights, camera, action, will be focused on dancing and drama and giving the children the opportunity to be performers and do things in a positive light. Summer in color for week 5 is our arts and craft week, with the biggest arts and craft activity, of course, in that week as well. And then we culminate with week 6, We Are Kidpreneurs, where we have the end of summer, the end of camp showcase, of course, with an entrepreneurship showcase where we have the campers showing what they've learned throughout the summer, because all of these activities I mentioned just now are part of the camp throughout the whole 6 weeks. So you don't just get cooking or entrepreneurship in the week that is the focus for it, but it is throughout the entire camp.
And registration is ongoing, but you need to call to register. And we would have posted the information there on the screen as well. The numbers to call if you wish to register are 827-7486 or 237-0698. So again, 827-7486 or 237-0698 to register for this exciting camp. And you too can become that little agpreneur, indeed, as you engage with agriculture and a whole host of other disciplines. You will find yourself stumbling upon a skill set that you perhaps didn't know you had. But it's a fun way to get the children involved. What age ranges are you targeting here for the camp?
Ages 5 to 11.
From 5 to 11. And how many do you think you can accommodate?
About 100 children. And I would also say that any information that persons might want to get about the camp, you can find it on Facebook as well as Instagram.
And if you go to Facebook or Instagram,
Eduventures Barbados.
Ah, there it is. Eduventures. EDUVENTURES. Eduventures Barbados on Facebook or Instagram. Get to know more details and register for this camp. It's going to be exciting for the children. I'm sure Kai is also finding it equally exciting. Kai, let's talk a little bit about Kai-So juices. So again, remind us, Kai, what range of juices you sell. Tell us what they are.
I sell some passion fruit, sorrel, fruit punch, guava, pineapple, green mango, pineapple, ginger, passion fruit.
You sell all of those things, and we can order it by simply contacting you. Again, remind us the number, Kai.
253-1703.
253-1703. 253-1703. They're all natural juices. And can we get some that are not sweetened? If we order, right? Right, Kai?
Yeah.
If we order it to be unsweetened, of course, that's what you will provide us. If you want it sweetened, then you will provide us as well, because you have to meet the needs of the customer, Kai. Indeed. Are you happy, Kai, with the profit you're making on the business?
Yes, please.
Do you have any plans for the money you're earning while you do your business, Kai-So Juices?
I will donate some of the money to charity.
Ah, very good, Kai, very good. And which charity do you think you'd like to make a donation to?
I don't know yet.
All right, no problem. You have time to think about it, but that's all part of the initiative, indeed, giving back to the society. Right, Marcia?
Yes, please, for sure.
Yes. Don't just keep it all to yourself. So well done. Kai, I know you have to get off to school. Wouldn't keep you much longer. Plus, you have some breakfast to eat. Mommy and Daddy are no doubt waiting to say, all right, Kai, come have something to eat before you head to school. And Marcia, as well, as again, congratulations. I really want to encourage people to sign up for the camp, register for the EduVentures Barbados Summer Camp. Remember, the numbers to call are 827-7486 or 8237-0698 to register. And do engage with the 6-week camp. It's going to be fantastic for the children. Activities in entrepreneurship, gardening, animal science, experiments, hiking, dancing, drama, arts and craft, cooking, baking. There's a movie day, end of camp showcase, tours, and a whole lot more. So it's quite involved over 6 weeks at the St. George Primary School. Well done. Don't forget, Marcia, we're looking for more people. We're looking for more people. So do encourage the students to come on by and meet with us here at Morning Barbados as well as we celebrate them. And also to remind you that you can go on to Facebook and to Instagram to EduVentures Barbados to get to know more and to see the information that you need to follow. There it is, EduVentures Barbados on Instagram. Like the page, follow it, and you can get to register today for this upcoming summer camp. All the best to both of you. And Kaiso Juices, Kai, congratulations. All the best to you as well.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much for joining us. Morning Barbados takes a break right here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So we're 9.5 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock this Thursday morning. Don't forget Kaiso Juices. You can give them a call to place your order. Call 253-1703. 253-1703. That's Kaiso Juices by Kai Marshall Brown. And they'll be happy to be able to provide you the natural juices that you're looking for. He is a student of St. George Primary School, 8 years old. And he's already in the business of making money and becoming the excellent entrepreneur that he is. So we want to encourage you to support them, 253-1703. Now, our next guest is Alicia Bristol. She's a chef. She's a certified chef. She's also behind Cookology Summer Hang. What is that about? Good morning to you, Alicia.
Good morning, person. Good morning, Barbados.
What is this Cookology Summer Hang about?
Cookology Summer Hang Barbados is a program for young culinary enthusiasts who wants to get a first-hand look at the culinary science and an opportunity to get a clearer understanding of what the industry is all about.
The culinary science, oh my goodness. I just put a dash of this, a bit of that, I watch it boil. You tell me there's a science to cooking. And
It is a science.
So when we come to the Cookology Summer Hang, that's what we're engaging with. We're engaging with the science of we're preparing delicious meals and creating wonderful dishes, right?
Yes, having a better understanding of why things are done the way they are in the kitchen. Because a lot of people do not understand that there are specific steps that are needed to have a successful dish prepared. And it's not a by guess movement. It has to be something done with knowledge.
You know, your mother would say, put a dash of love. And you were saying to me, well, that's knowledge. It's not as simple as that. It sounds simple. But so when we when we dig our teeth into a delicious piece of cake, when we see ourselves enjoying a plate of whatever our favorite dish is, there's a science to that. And so the Cookology Summer Hang, this is going to be a case where is it hands-on or is it simply technical by sharing of knowledge?
Definitely hands-on. Definitely hands-on. The young campers will get to experience the process for themselves, where they will be instructed firstly about the process that they need to take. And this is getting them to understand the scientific side of cooking. And from that knowledge, they can now go into the kitchen because they fully understand now what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing. And they now will be able to execute correctly, Pearson.
Now, let me see if I understand.
And they're going to see the difference. They're going to see the difference.
I am quite sure. When you say the scientific, no, it's not just following the recipe alone, but to be able to mix and blend certain flavors and taste together.
Manipulation of flavors, yes.
So that's what it's about. So it's like adding a little bit of spice to, and try it with a little bit of hibiscus. You see what comes out. That's what you're saying?
Pearson, it is getting to understand the fundamental of, okay, first I need to handle first I have to know what I want to prepare. So you have a clear vision that I would like to prepare this dish. Then you'll understand choosing your ingredients is of importance. And then you'll get to understand how I go about now processing is important. And that is where sanitation and safety comes in. That is where applying the right cooking techniques comes in. So it is a process, and by attending Cookology Summer Hang, young culinarians are going to get a clear understanding that this is definitely a science and one that has been overlooked.
Yes, you're so right. Listen,
it is not a by guess thing.
I'll give you my example. I don't care who laughs at me. The other day I had this passion for wanting to bake some sweetbread, right? So I go to the supermarket, I bought the flour, I bought the coconut, I bought my essences, I'm heading home. When I got home and I'm thinking, wait, hold on, something's missing. I didn't buy any butter or anything. So, that's why I need a Cookology.
Full preparation, mise en place is important. Not when you start the process, then you realize, oh my, I don't have this and I don't have that. So they will get to understand how preparation also is important.
Right. So how can we sign up to be a part of Cookology Summer Hang so that we can really benefit from your experience as an internationally certified chef?
Persons can contact us at 239-4038 or persons can contact us at 253-9115 or they can reach out to us on Cookology 246 on IG.
Right. We have all the information. Yeah, we have all the information at the bottom of the screen right there, folks. Cookology246@gmail.com if you're sending an email, or you can call these numbers 239-4038 or 253-9115. When does the Cookology Summer Hang start and end?
It starts on July 18th and ends on the 22nd of August.
And do we come to you? Where is it going to be?
Yes, it's going to be held at the Caribbean Culinary Institute in Bank Hall.
And where?
So it is indeed the Caribbean Culinary Institute in Bank Hall. It is next door to Plumbers Mart in Bank Hall.
Okay, now I get it. Now I get the idea. For those who don't necessarily traverse that road too often, we want to get the location. So once you put it in that context, now we get it. So once we register, the details will be given to us as to where to come, and you provide all the implements. We just turn up and we work from there.
Yes, please. Campers don't have to worry about anything. Everything needed for the camp is provided by us. Campers will receive t-shirts, apron, chef hat, all the products and produce used at the camp will be provided by us. As well, we want it to be a meaningful experience. We are encouraging our campers to build their portfolios so that they can always make reference to recipes that they have learned or culinary principles that they have learned at their time with us. So it is not something that we want them to just experience and forget. We want them to have something sustainable that they can go back to when they want to make reference.
Are you targeting a particular age group?
Yes, Pearson, we are looking at tweens to teens.
So
12 to 18.
I barely missed it.
Tweens to teens, 12 to 18, Pearson.
I hear you. You don't have to put it like that. I get it. 12 to 18s, indeed. Those are the ones that they're targeting for this one. Cookology Summer High in 2022. You can explore the whole science of cooking, indeed. Alicia Bristol, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I hope that many people register to really come down and engage in the science of cooking and improve their ability to present dishes that will delight those who consume. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. They tell me I need to take a break, and we're coming right back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So quickly before we go, just to remind you, today, Thursday, we're heading to La Mirage Bar and Grill. It's all part of the CBC Afterwork Soca Lime. It's in the link road there to Carlton St. James. From 5 this afternoon, you can be there until you say when. On hand will be some of our best DJs here. DJ AON Skills, DJ Ras, there's Sheldon Papp, Chasey and Versi Wild. They'll be there to entertain you this evening from 5 at La Mirage Bar and Grill, Carlton St. James in the link road. So if you don't know, ask someone for directions, but come hang with us as we hang out for our Afterwork Soca Limes with the CBC. That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. My producer today has been Alicia Als Grant. With her has been Ruel Ford, our technical director. Christopher Blenman at sound. Tamisha Green is at master control. I'm Pearson Boeing, wishing all of you a great today. We do look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados.